Nitinandam, thank you so much for tuning in. Today I wanted to share with you all a little bit about one of Swamiji's teachings that has so far given me perhaps the most freedom in how I interact with life and others, and how it helped me move from a space where I was somewhat conflicted in expressing myself and being who I really felt that I am. So, as a sannyasi or a Hindu monk, or even actually as a disciple of Swamiji, you'll hear us speak about the four tattvas, which is the four basic principles of how we live our lives. So these four principles are integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. So today I wanted to share with you all about authenticity, the principle of authenticity, what it means and how it's helped me in my life. So for many of my friends and family, I can say that it came as kind of for some of them, a rude shock or a surprise when I came back from my Inner Awakening program in India, and all of a sudden I was wearing this kumkum and wearing this sacred ash on my forehead, and I was speaking about my guru and what all I had learnt and was learning, and I was just so happy to share. So I wasn't raised with any understanding of Eastern religion or Eastern philosophy or Eastern anything. Actually, my knowledge was very limited. I never expected that I would find Swamiji. I never expected that I would have a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. All of these things came as a surprise to me. I didn't even know what a guru was. So there, I kind of went through this thing of me having to kind of understand, what this is, and, as I'm becoming more and more involved in it, also sharing the experiences with my closest friends and family. So my family, like I said, didn't really have any understanding of, like me, or maybe even a kind of a basic understanding of Eastern philosophy, Eastern religion. We didn't understand what is a guru, first of all. So one of the things that helped me really live this life and get to where I am right now was not compromising ever, and not being afraid to stand up and share my experiences, share this side of me that I was living, even when I felt that I wouldn't be understood, and even when there were certain situations where conflict arose within my family. So for example, when I was sharing with my mum that I have now a guru, explaining who he is, trying to introduce him to her, and sharing about my experiences and whatnot. Initially, she didn't really understand why this has happened. She had her own ideas anyway, and I know that this will happen for many people that are seekers, that especially if you're dedicating your life or deciding that you want to become a sannyasi yourself. For some people, your family will be completely supportive from the get-go. For others, it might not be the case. There might be some questioning, not understanding, whatever is there. So what really helped me was not backing down in my authenticity, staying true to what it is that I believe, what it is that I'm feeling, what it is that I'm experiencing, and being completely transparent, not hiding anything. Having that tremendous patience also. See, one of the things that I found experientially is when you're authentic, when you're being true to you, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you stand for, whatever it is that the world may not understand, you are standing strong in that. It gives you tremendous courage and it gives you tremendous patience. So even when my friends, family, work colleagues, whatever, and they were actually very supportive. But in the times when there might have been some conflict or some whatever arose, having that courage and having that patience never to back down is something that really ended up inspiring them, believe it or not. So my mum is now actually a sannyasi herself. So soon after I came back from attending my Inner Awakening program in India, she started attending some programs in Australia, and then she herself decided that seeing how much I had transformed, that she wanted the same for herself. So she went and did the same, and it took me by surprise when she said that she wanted to become a sannyasi. I was shocked, actually. She had to be true and authentic in standing her ground while I was going through my own, confusion at what decision she had made in her life. So, and see, this applies, I'm sharing this experience, based on me becoming a Hindu, becoming a Hindu monk, leaving the whole life that I knew, the whole status quo living, leaving it behind and starting something completely new. By being authentic, I've had so much support and love flood through, even in these little times where people were maybe not understanding, or is she gone crazy, or is she sure she knows what she's doing? All of these questions arose in people around me. When they finally saw that, no, I'm very determined that this is what I'm doing, come what may, even if they're fearing, oh, what happens if you fail, and what happens if it doesn't work out, and what if, I didn't care, that I'm jumping in and I'm making this happen for myself. So much love and support and acceptance and all of that came through. So like I said, I'm using this as an example for my experience in my life as a sannyasi. But this is true when you want to be living your life in a certain way, in any dimension, any aspect, whatever it is that you feel about yourself on the inside, being true to that. So there's another aspect to authenticity. It's an exercise which you can actually do yourself from the comfort of your own home, and it's something that you learn during inner awakening. And believe it or not, we have what we call, or what Swamiji terms as, an inner image and an outer image. So an inner image is all of the things that you feel and believe about yourself in your heart of hearts. So there could be some amazing things, like you're very compassionate, like the thoughts would be, I am compassionate, I'm caring, I'm loving. But then they can also be thoughts such as, I'm cowardly, I don't embrace life fully. Whatever it is that you truly feel about yourself on the inside, no one knows this but you. Then we have an outer image. An outer image is what we project to others. So for example, and Swamiji shared that usually the inner image and the outer image, if we look in sincerely, there tends to be a gap between the two. So for example, if I feel that I'm a coward on the inside, that I don't embrace life fully, this is my inner image. on my outer image, for example, when I'm at work, I'll put on a tough front that if I have to face my boss, on the inside I might be shaking, I might be trembling, but on the outside, I know I'm the kind of person that will put on a front and show a brave face. So this is my outer image. My inner image is that I'm a coward, but my outer image is that I'm strong, I'm courageous. So this gap between the two is where our inauthenticities lie. So Swamiji was sharing that usually if we have an outer image that we're able to project, so if I'm able to put on a front that I am brave and on the inside I'm feeling cowardly, the true authentic image is that I'm actually brave. Right? So even though I'm feeling on the inside that I'm cowardly, if I'm able to project that I'm brave, it means that I'm actually brave. So this inauthenticity, a good way, you can do it yourself now actually, it's an amazing exercise just to gauge where you are at this point in time, how you feel about you, really. So write down all of the things that you feel about yourself. You can take, it doesn't take much time, you can be as in depth with this as you want. You can do this for an hour sincerely, you can do it for 15 minutes just to kind of, like I said, gauge where you're at. The fact that you can put on a brave face means that you are in fact brave. But there's something inside of you that really feels that no, you're not. If you were to look in to that idea, that belief that you are a coward, if you look back, if you just sit and meditate, for each point that you write down, if you just sit and meditate for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, look in and see, there'll be an incident in your life somewhere. Something has happened at some point in time, usually from very early in childhood, maybe from the age of as early as 3 till, let's say, 7, around that gap. Something will have happened where, an incident usually in your life, where you have formed a belief about yourself based on that incident that you are, for example, a coward. The moment that you're able to identify this is the first part to your healing. This is where transformation starts. By identifying where it is that you've created a wrong cognition about yourself, you'll see that throughout your life, because it's usually such a strong incident to leave such an imprint of a, that kind of a cognition about you, there'll be many other incidents in life, maybe not necessarily quite as impactful, but the fact that they've happened, it just kind of puts that stamp of approval, a stamp of acknowledgement that, see, yes, I am in fact a coward. See, it happened again in life. And again and again and again, and these things keep reinforcing this belief. So an important thing that Swamiji is constantly sharing with us again and again and again is that we manifest what we believe in life, not what we want. So as much as we might want something for ourselves, if we have such a strong belief of impossibility, as much as we might want to have something, unless and until we look in and see what is this wrong cognition, we'll keep having similar situations in life repeat themselves again and again and again and again. And it ends up being this vicious cycle. But we don't in fact have to live like that. Just by looking in and seeing, how have I been conditioned to believe what I believe right now? You can start seeing how you can start healing that part of you, how you can start shifting that cognition. See, all it takes is just removing that wrong cognition and understanding that it's not true. Having a powerful cognition. Instead of having a powerless cognition, like you can see, if you're able to show that you're brave, you have that capacity in you, that possibility is there. So instead of always being on this one end of the spectrum of impossibility, start shifting your life to that of possibility. And you'll see, I tell you with all of my heart, when you start living authentically, when you start really standing for who and what you are, even if that matures, you might not feel the same way that you do in a year's time. You know, you might mature. Your feelings about yourself, your ambitions in life, whatever, they might mature. That's okay. But as these things happen, you stay authentic to who and what you are, always. Life will always support you. It's just this beautiful law of life that Swamiji showed me. And it's something that I really want to share with everyone, that we don't have to be afraid to be who we really are, or who we feel we really are. And yeah, inner awakening actually is the greatest opportunity for you to really dig in deep and really question everything it is that you believe about yourself, and dig out all of these powerless cognitions that you have and see how you can shift into a more powerful space. And life is just simply waiting to shower you, always, in each and every moment. We don't have to suffer the way that we think we do. And you'll be amazed at how your friends and family start responding to you. I've found always where I've been inauthentic in some way, it's always landed me in some kind of a sticky situation, or something that I see in hindsight could have been avoided if I had just been authentic in the first place. So I'm more than happy. I love reading any comments that you guys leave for me. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them beneath, and yeah, I'll absolutely get back to you. Thank you so much, Nityananda.